Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I'm bringing you another Q&A segment. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. As the first question comes in from Hero for Hire, and he wants to know, who do you think is the best player to never win a ring in the NBA? And I actually responded to him directly by saying Elgin Baylor. The reason why I say this is really briefly, Elgin Baylor was a great player who did things in the NBA far before his time. And a lot of people probably have never even heard his name before. And the fact that people haven't even heard Elgin Baylor's name is a simple fact that he should have been a person who won a championship. So at least he would have been remembered in some circles. Geekdom, what's your name and how big is your twat? I've answered this question a million times and I say it right correctly, Geekdom, so you can't get me this time. Jordan Downs wants to know, what would happen if future Z Cell absorbed past Cell? That's actually a good question. If you're talking about if like maybe an imperfect cell absorbed perfect cell, which would be very hard to believe unless he let himself get absorbed, I would assume that he would go straight to his perfect form, because the perfect form already has all of the ingredients of the android. So it would kind of be like, all right, well, here are the ingredients to make this cake. If you get the cake, then you get that plus the ingredients, right? I mean, that's kind of how I think of it. All right, Shadow Proto wants to know, do you think she is hot? No, obviously not. But one thing this kind of does look like with the artwork is, obviously this is trying to probably make a play on like a female Namekian, I guess. What this actually looks like to me though is the Pokemon called Meganium, because of these little antennas here and the little flower thing. This looks like a mixture of Meganium with like a Powerpuff Girl or Dexter's Laboratory art style. Alright, let's see here. Goodnight Moon wants to know, will you do a super review with face cam featuring your cats anytime soon? No, because it's just not really my thing to do that type of stuff. I mean, I've gone on camera before. I don't really care about that. It's just, going on camera is just not my editing style. It's not something I really like doing. Favorite rapper would probably have to be Busta Rhymes, Caden, if that's how you pronounce your name. And I guess Major Lazer, if you count him, would also be my other favorite rapper. Farhan Elizabeth wants to know, what would happen? Oh, I already answered that question. Alright, see this guy here, Marcus Arthur, wants to know, what do I think of this picture? Edeka is coming for that ass. I would just say this guy's facial expression is a bit too bland for that type of thumbnail, though. Like, I would expect a more crazy looking picture there. Alright. Rakurai Network wants to know, what is the worst, most annoying comment or type of comment you've ever gotten on a video or still get to this day? It would probably have to easily be two videos. The first most notable video would be my clickbait video. A lot of people questioned my character and who I was, and to tell you the honest truth, I will admit that the emotions got me that day more so than anything else, but that video got a lot of negative comments. And I also got probably the worst comments ever on my face reveal. I got a lot of racial comments. A lot of people were pretty much arguing about me being black or white, and they were saying Qaaman's voice is too deep to be a white guy. And then there were some people who were saying that I speak too properly to be a black guy, which is super racist. And then there were some people who were saying I thought Qaaman was Indian because of his name Qaaman, which I figured out is actually like a word for I think it's a word for like garden or something, and I think it's Ethiopian. Don't quote me on that, but I remember somebody telling me that somewhere. So that is definitely the most annoying comments I ever got. IC wants to know, Qaaman, is Naruto smarter than Goku? I don't know Naruto enough to make that claim, but I'll definitely say it ain't that hard to be smarter than Goku. Matt Rim wants to know, will I continue Boost Fury? Check my video out from yesterday. Can you do a triple backflip, 3000 gainer, front back gainer, chopstick 9000 with glasses? No, I cannot, Albert Correas. Do you know that Xeon is Jesus? I usually only take one question, but this is pretty funny, guys. So this guy, I don't think Albert Correas was the one who photoshopped this. I think this was Hodifia Xeon. He pretty much photoshopped Hail Xeon's face onto Jesus. And I'll be honest, this is a very good photoshopping job. It matches up with the hair very, very, very well. Alright, let's see. TOD7R wants to know, is Goku the strongest now except Whis, Beerus, Zeno, and etc.? No, I wouldn't say so, because you got to remember something, bro. I mean, Super has a lot of characters that haven't even been discovered yet. You got to think, if you have a God of Destruction and a God of Destruction attendant in every universe, you got to think there has to be a lot more of them out there that would rival Goku at least. So I would definitely not say so, but he's definitely probably the strongest character from like our group of people, next to Vegeta, obviously. All right, the True Fury wants to know, what did you think of the latest episode of Team 4-Star DBZ Abridged? I have not seen Team 4-Star in about 4 to 5 months, and the reason why is because what I usually do is I just wait for them to upload a bunch of videos all at once, and I just marathon them instead of waiting like 3 weeks to a month for every new episode. Stick It Fan wants to know, if Piccolo absorbed Nail at full strength instead of beaten, do you think it would have made a difference in his power? That's a very good question, Stick It Fan, because Nail was dying and pretty much on his deathbed before Piccolo fused with him. I don't think that has anything to do with it, and the reason why I'm saying this is because Nail pretty much had almost no energy and power when he fused with Piccolo, but yet Piccolo got so much stronger. So it was pretty much like Nail put his complete essence into Piccolo. It's not like, I really don't think the actual strength of Nail at that particular time had anything to really do with it. Elijah Wright wants to know, how old are you and how long do you think it will take Miami to become a contender again? Not sure of my age. I'm in my early 20s. It's not hard to find out how old I am. How long do I think it will take Miami to become a contender? If you're talking about the Heat, the Dolphins, or the Marlins, which are the 3 teams I follow, the Heat, I think, probably need about 3 to 4 years. We need to develop a perennial all-star caliber talent before we could be a contender. Winslow, Richardson, Tyler Johnson, I don't know if it could be any of those guys, but we definitely need one of those. The Miami Dolphins are completely hopeless. I mean, there's nothing they could do. They've been stinking up the joint, for pretty much a decade and a half now. The Miami Heat have won 3 championships in the span of 10 years, and then the Dolphins have done in like over 50. So yeah, the Dolphins are irrelevant. And in terms of the Miami Marlins, honestly, we've done pretty good this year. We're a quasi wildcard team. I think our team's on the right track, and I think we're developing some good young talent. So I think maybe a year or 2 and we're probably going to be it. Who knows? We might even make the playoffs. How strong do you think King Vegeta was? King Vegeta, in my opinion, he's probably... Okay, I feel like this could be a good featured question. King Vegeta, in my opinion, from what I've read from multiple sources, was said to be the strongest Saiyan on Earth at the time of Planet Vegeta's destruction, next to his own son Vegeta. Now, let's factor this in too. Bardock was said to also be around that power too when he got that Zenkai boost. And the thing that I have a hard time believing is, I have a hard time believing that a Zenkai boost that Bardock got could have made him that much stronger if he was only a low-class Saiyan. Like, I would think that if you're a higher class or an elite Saiyan, if you get a Zenkai boost, you could be even higher too. So, with all of this said, I could say King Vegeta was probably around 10,000-ish. If I compare him to probably Vegeta when he arrived on Earth, during the destruction of Planet Vegeta. And the reason I would say this is because if Vegeta is an 18,000, I would think Kid Vegeta could have at least gotten twice as strong in that amount of time to 18,000. But it's kind of weird though, because you would think he would get a lot stronger from going from childhood to being an adult. So that's my answer. Do I like wrestling? Not really. So really can't really say much about that. So I'm just going to go over to Ask FM in just 1 second. Alrighty guys, so welcome to my Ask FM questions of the day. As you guys can see, this says 6,272 questions. I don't know what happened. Legitimately, I don't. I had about 35,000 or 40,000 questions on here. I guess the system automatically deletes after a certain point. Alright, do I think Hit will be eliminated at the start of Zero's tournament like Nam was in Dragon Ball? And do I think the Omni King would want to be friends with Gohan if he switched places with Goku and fought Beerus as a super Asian god? Okay, this is silly. Hit could be like eliminated early in the tournament to add a lot of intensity. Just like how they kind of did with King Choppa too in Dragon Ball. I mean, King Choppa was wiped out at the beginning of 2 tournaments, like at the very beginning. And you know, it's funny because King Chop is supposed to be this really strong guy, but he never even made like the regular tournament of like the Tenkaichi Budokais that we saw. So I always found that was interesting. What if Piccolo unfused with Kami? Would there be a Kami versus Piccolo, Kami versus Dende, 2 Guardians of the Earth? No, if he unfused with Kami, I would just think maybe Kami would be something like, I don't know, like an advisor to Dende. But like Dende is much younger. I think Kami would understand that, you know, you have to put your leadership in a younger leader. So I think that's more realistic. If the GT and Super Universe were one and the same, would mixing God Ki with Super Saiyan 4 result in red or blue hair? Blue because it's Super Saiyan form, red because it's the user's regular hair color, at least Goku with Vegeta's hair turned on. I don't really know, bro. Honestly, bro, when it comes to hair color, it's just whatever the hell the designers feel like giving him. Why does Goku have black hair in his base form? Why does he have blonde hair in his Super Saiyan form? Well, the honest answer to that is because of the fact that Akira Toriyama got sick and tired of coloring in hair all the time, so he pretty much have Goku have no hair color in the manga and then called it blonde. But really the honest answer is whatever the hell the editors feel like it. Like, color has nothing to do with the actual genetics. If more than one person is using the Spirit Bomb and everyone raised their hands, do you think the energy would split evenly for each user or go to 1? That's a very good question. This is a very good question. I've never thought about something like this. I would think it would depend on the user using the Spirit Bomb. And here's my headcanon, but hear me out, guys. The way I've always envisioned how a Spirit Bomb works is it's like a magnet. So like Goku using the Spirit Bomb, he's pretty much using his energy and his knowledge of the technique to like absorb your energy. So if 2 people were using it, depending on who probably had better mastery or whatnot, the energy would have definitely have been split amongst whoever's there. Maybe proximity also has something to do with it too. For example, if Goku's on, you know, the planet of the Kais and I'm doing a Spirit Bomb on Earth, you know, maybe the energy is gonna go to me because it's a lot closer to where I am. So before it hits Goku, it's hitting me first. You see what I'm saying, guys? So like I would get the energy first because it's pretty much the energy's traveling to me and then it would never get to Goku because my magnet is pretty much sucking the energy away from Goku's energy. So that's my headcanon, guys. I think this could be a cool featured question too. But yeah, that's actually very interesting to wonder. This was a really good question, anonymous person. What's with your video partners giving Expert Games a hard time? Do they even know the drama Ronnie caused you? He didn't even insult the kid. There was no malice in this video. It was a joke. Tell Mike J geeked him to get the stick out of their asses. I have no clue what you're talking about, bro, so I don't know how I can answer this. Has Dragon Ball taught you any life lessons? Yeah, I mean, it gave me a YouTube channel. In terms of life lessons, it kind of... One thing that Dragon Ball definitely taught me is the fact that even when you think something is wrong or like something's going bad, this could be an awesome featured question too, by the way. I don't know, I have like 3 good ones. This is a really good Q&A. It's taught me that like no matter what happens, if I'm fighting a villain that's stronger than me, if I'm in a situation in life where I think I have absolutely nothing I can do about it, don't just give up. You might as well keep on fighting and use whatever you can to get the best out of whatever situation, because of the fact that in Dragon Ball we've seen our heroes, you know, fighting, you know, all these villains and, you know, fighting all of these characters that were superior to them in technique, speed, power, but yet they found a way to defeat them by working together. And I also think that, you know, Dragon Ball has also taught me a lot about people changing too. That would probably be my second life lesson, because if you look at it, like characters like Vegeta, Yamcha, Tien, Piccolo, Majin Buu, who kind of was a different case because, you know, the evil was extracted, but you know, all of these villains that we've seen in Dragon Ball that have pretty much been complete antagonists at one point that became good guys, I think that makes them in some way or another, I guess you can say, different in a sense, that Goku and the rest of the guys pretty much have converted these evil entities into being good guys. And it kind of shows me that no matter how evil somebody might look, they can always have like a good side to them. So that would definitely be my life lessons for Dragon Ball, and this definitely will 100% be my feature question. This was a phenomenal question, bro, and or you know, if you're a woman, I apologize. And I think this is interesting. And guys, in the comment section below, like, let's make this a more active Q&A. Tell me what life lessons Dragon Ball has taught you. Don't feel shy. I would love to read your comments, and I do respond to comments, especially on Q&As, because I love seeing what you guys have to say. So please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys, and share your thoughts on all this stuff, because Dragon Ball definitely changed all of our lives.